Hello. Hello. Good afternoon. Good evening. You're welcome to this week's Forex Outlook with Great White FX for the 2nd to the 6th of October. Wishing everybody a lovely new month ahead. So without taking so much of our time, we're going to start off with the economic calendar. So this week we have Aussie rate news and New Zealand rate news. Then we have on Wednesday, we have ADP non-farm employment change, ISM services PMI for the US dollar, and non-farm on Friday. We have unemployment claims on Thursday also. So we have some high impact news. So the Aussie and the New Zealand are going to have some major moves this week for those who trade those pairs. So without taking so much of our time, let's get down to our pairs. So as always, we're going to start with the US 100, DXY, the Euro USD, GBPUSD, Gold, Euro, GBP, Pound Yen, Euro Yen, and that will be it. So we're going to start off with the US 100. Looking at the US 100, order flow still seems to be a little bit tilted to the downside. If we look at this on the daily, we can see that liquidity below 14,552.5 has been swept, and we have a swing there, which points to the fact that we might see a little bit of a retracement. And if you look to the left, we have this down candle before the break of this swing high. So price is within a bullish order block, which has caused price to bounce. So looking at this on the 4-hour time frame, if you look at structure wise, we have a breaker here. We have this low. We have this high that took out this and this. So if we go back to the candles, the possibility exists that this may retrace a bit before continuing back into this fair value gap here on the 4-hour for a continuation back down to probably, let's go back to the daily, to probably test these lows here, because structure on this pair is still tilted to the downside. So with this swing on the daily, the possibility exists, this swing on the daily and this bullish breaker on the far, we might see a little bit of a retracement into this area. As long as price stays above 1420, 1442, 9.5, we might see a move into here before a continuation back to the downside. So the next we're going to be looking at is the dollar index. Looking at the dollar index, order flow on this is still tilted to the upside. If we go to the monthly, because it's a new month, we can see that price tipped. If you measure this fair value gap on the monthly from this point, 109.57 to 105.91, price got to 25% of this range. That's 25% of this range, that's 25% level. And if we look at this on the daily, on the weekly, if we look at this on the weekly, we can see that price is completely shifted bullish. We have a close above 105.88. Although if we look to the left, we can see that price is within what looks like a bearish order block. So going into this new week, as we can already see, price tested, broke above here, tested, and we have what looks like a bounce. Going into the 4-hour, the possibility exists that this may retrace a bit into this inverted fair value gap, as you can see on the left and on the right. So if this holds, the possibility exists that price may still rally back to the upside on this pair, as this pair, the dollar index, still has some strength left in it. So that brings us to the next pair, which is the Euro USD. Euro USD order flow on this pair is still bearish. If we look at it on the monthly, you can see that the monthly closed as a major bearish engulfing candle, but into this rejection on the monthly, So if we go into the daily time frame, can see that sell side liquidity here has been swept for 104.83 hasn't been swept. So going into this new week, the possibility exists that we might see a bit of a retracement. I might see a bit of a retracement before a continuation back down to sweep this low here, 104.44. So this pair is still bearish. Any retracement on it will be an opportunity for a short. The same goes to for the GBPUSD. The GBPUSD order flow on structure on this pair is still bearish. If we look at this on the monthly, and see that price dipped into what looks like a bullish order block. If we go down and the monthly has closed bearish, we have a swing high on the monthly. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have a swing high on the monthly. If we go down to the weekly, we can see that price dipped into this fair value gap and closed back above it. So if we go to the daily time frame, I see we have a big wick on this. On the 4-hour time frame, the possibility is that we might watch to see what this fair value gap here does. The possibility is that this might still retrace. It might still retrace a bit before a continuation back to the downside, or it may just consolidate. So that's what we'll be watching to see this new week. Looking at gold, if we look at gold from the monthly, if you pick your fib from this point to this point, let me put my annotations. The 50% comes in at 1840.96. And price is just slightly above that. If we go to the weekly, let me remove all this. If we go to the weekly, we can see that price just touched this last down candle before this up move that broke this high. So price is at a possible area where we might see a bounce. Structure wise, this is still to the downside, but going into this new week, given where price is and this big weekly fair, this weekly daily fair value gap here, the possibility exists that we might see a bit of a retracement before price would move lower to close up this imbalance at 1836.68. Then we also have this here. So for gold, any rally on this might offer an opportunity for a short back to the downside. Then the next we're going to be looking at is EURGBP. EURGBP order flow on this still seems slightly to the upside, but if we look at it from the monthly, we would notice that price didn't close above 8,700. Price didn't close above it, although we have what looks like a swing here on the monthly. If we go down to the weekly, that level, you see the way price didn't close above it. If we look at this from the daily, we have a swing on the daily. On the 4-hour, there is a bearish breaker here on the 4-hour. We have this high, we have this, we have this. And we can see that price is moving back into that level. So going into this new week, the possibility exists that price may come up to 86, 83, or this fair value gap here. And then if it gets rejected, we'll see price come to 86.30. Then to close up this imbalance at 86.26. So on this pair, any rally on this pair, as long as price does not go above 87.06, will be an opportunity for a short back to the downside. So the next way we're going to be looking at is the pound yen. If you look at this pair from the weekly, this pair is just not much on the weekly, but if you look at it from the daily, you'll notice it's in a range. Note this big candle here. this big daily candle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 candles within it. So this makes this what you call a range candle or a master candle. So for this pair, it's just basically in a consolidation. And if you're going to trade it, the best trade on this pair is just to wait for price near the range highs and near the range lows. Because looking at it on the daily, price is trading within 183.19 to 180.81. So this pair is just basically in a consolidation. Same with euro yen. If we look at the euro yen, it's very, very clear. Let's look at it from the weekly. You can see that this big candle here, that's last month's candle, price has just been dancing within it. If you go into the daily, you can basically see that. Let me remove hide all. You can basically see that this candle here with the high at 158.43 and the low at 156.64, price has been dancing within it. So let's see how many days you have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 trading days within this one candle. So this pair is just basically in a range. The best play is you wait for either the range breakout. What do I mean by range breakout? You wait for something like this, or you wait for a sweep of liquidity above this and they move back inside the range. So that's out of the way. I wish everybody a blessed and wonderful trading new week and new month ahead. If you have any questions, we'll be glad to answer them. Don't forget to like and share the video. Thank everybody for taking your time to attend. I wish you all a beautiful night's sleep. Thank you all for taking your time to attend.